The content you're about to enjoy comes from the archives of The Best You. We're devoted to the very best in personal development, with a platform and resources dedicated to inspiring and changing people's lives. At The Best You, we work with the world's leading writers and trainers on the evolution of the self, and people whose journeys have been affected by their work and words. These Best You EXPO talks are recorded in front of a live audience in a live event. We highly recommend that you focus on the message. As they say, what you focus on expands. Enjoy. Lucy Ann Chard. The title of her talk is The Secret to Living on Purpose. In this talk, Lucy Ann shares stories and insights on how to anchor your energy to feel fully present and empowered, how to celebrate your intuition as a gift, and how to unlock the connection to your inner infinite wisdom. Enjoy.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. My name is Lucy Ann Chard, and I am a healer and a mentor for people who want to live in harmony with their mind, body, and soul. You can find me online at lucyannchard.com or on social media, Facebook, Instagram, as Lucy Ann Chard. So do come over and say hi over there. So I would like to welcome you this morning to The Secret to Living on Purpose. And I have some questions for you. How will you know what your purpose is? What if you choose the wrong one? What if you fail at your special destiny? What if you get to the end of your life and you still don't know what you want to be when you grow up? If you're sitting there going, yeah, I've had those conversations with myself, then trust me, you are not alone. Because these are the kind of conversations and the kind of questions that I used to ask myself over and over again. So I'd like you now to rewind with me back to 2011. At that time, I was working in television broadcasting for one of the UK's top channel brands. I'd just been promoted, and I was living the kind of lifestyle that revolved around expensive holidays and parties, the occasional award ceremony. But inside, I felt lost, and I was desperately unhappy. So I became obsessed at that time with discovering my life purpose. I had a belief that said, Lucy, you really should have a purpose. And let me tell you, that belief completely stressed me out. In my search for my life purpose, I became an absolute expert at busyness. If I wasn't busy doing, I was busy thinking and questioning and analyzing, taking a multitude of online tests to tell me whether I was a this or a that, whether I should do this with my life or that with my life, and seeking out a myriad of healing modalities that would somehow give me a sense of meaning, give me a sense of direction. I had put all of my faith in external sources to give me guidance, and no faith in myself to show me the way. In being busy, I had conveniently avoided feeling. In being busy, I'd forgotten to listen to my body. I'd forgotten to connect my mind, my body, my soul. And I'd forgotten to tune in and to connect to the wisdom from within. I'd gotten so busy striving and driving myself forward with a real purpose to find my purpose. Fast forward 3 years, and I find myself in a state of burnout with depression, an over-reliance on alcohol for numbing and avoidance, and a new diagnosis of stage 4 endometriosis that resulted in surgery and medication that put me in medical menopause for a year at age 34. And I remember sitting in my bedroom a week after surgery and saying to myself, something has to change. Something has to shift here. And so I started a process of what I like to call unlearning and recalibration, questioning the belief systems and the stories that I told myself for most of my adult life, that somehow career was the same thing as purpose. I had read countless articles and autobiographies of famous chefs and journalists and politicians and actors, all of whom at some point described how they just knew that that was exactly what they were meant to do with their life. But through this process of unlearning and recalibration, I started to think that maybe doing is not the same as being. And so one of my teachers taught me that perhaps then career was just one way for your purpose to flow through you in the highest expression of your divine self.
Having promoted more than 600 speakers and more than 65,000 people attend my seminars and courses and workshops and expos, having read so many books and attended so many courses, I really realized that the basics of personal, professional growth is based on the power of the question. Asking yourself empowering questions. Read my new book, The Question, Find Your True Purpose. It's based on my work, 30 years of entrepreneurship, all the experiences that I have, my manifesto, and what's really important. So for more information, go to www.thequestion.co.
Another one of my teachers taught me that perhaps our view of what success is supposed to look like has clouded our perception of purpose and led us to incorrectly assume that success and purpose are the same. Perhaps our view of what success is supposed to look like has led us to put undue pressure on ourselves to create something extraordinary to change the world, to get hundreds of thousands of followers on social media, to write best-selling novels, to sing hit songs, to be selected by modeling agents, to become movie stars. And what for? All of that in order to prove to ourselves that we are worthy of love, that we deserve to have a joyful life, and that we are, in fact, whole and complete, as we are right now. And so I started to ask myself this question, and I ask this question to you today. What if you started out again today, knowing that these things are a given, knowing that you are worthy of love, that you deserve a joyful life, and that you are absolutely whole and complete as you are right now? It reminds me of a story that I heard recently that I wanted to share with you about a young man who went on holiday to a fishing village. And there he was, sitting on the beach, watching the sea. And there along came a fisherman in his boat. And the fisherman had caught quite a few big fish. So the young man said, "Hey, how long did it take you to get all those fish?" And the fisherman said, "Not long." "So how come you don't spend longer out at sea to catch even more?" the young man asked. And the fisherman said, "Well, this is enough to feed my family." So the fisherman said, "Well, what do you do for the rest of the day?" And the fisherman said, "I wake up early in the morning, I go out to sea. I catch as many fish as I need to feed my family. Then, in the afternoon, I come home, I play with my children, I take a nap with my wife. And then in the evening, I meet up with my friends in the village, we sing, we dance, we play guitar." The young man thought about this, and he said, "I have a proposition for you. You see, I have a PhD in business development, and I have a plan that is going to make you an even more successful human than you ever imagined you could be. So, what you're going to do from now on is you're going to spend as long as you can out at sea and catch as many fish as you can in order to make more money, to buy more boats, to catch more fish. Then you're going to start a business. Yeah? You're going to set up your own production line for canned food. You create your distribution network. Then you will have made so much money, you can move out of this fishing village and into the city, set up your headquarters, and run your branches from there. The fisherman thought about this and said, and if I have all that, what will that then give me that's even more important? And the young man laughed and said, come on, if you have all that, you'll live like a king. You'll have your own house, you can sell your shares on the stock exchange, and you'll be filthy rich. And the fisherman said, and if I have all that, what will that then give me that's even more important? And the young man said, well, this is the best part of it all. When you have all that, then you can move to a small fishing village. You can go out early in the morning to the sea and catch as many fish as you need to feed your family. In the afternoon, you can come home, you can play with your children, take a nap with your wife. And then in the evenings, you can meet up with your friends in the village. You can sing, you can dance, you can play guitar. What if your purpose in this life was simply to feel? By giving yourself the opportunity to feel, you access more of who you are. And you let yourself off the hook from having to create and do something extraordinary to save the world. And you just get on with being extraordinary. By giving yourself the opportunity to fall in love, to have your heart broken, to watch the ocean, to experience something so awful that you feel it in your core and you find your voice and say, no, I will not stand for this. To hold your grandmother's hands, look into your mother's eyes and listen to the stories of when she was a child. To get those test results back that say all clear. What if your purpose in life was to make this world a more human dwelling place by being yourself, wholly and completely, without masks, without armor, simply, beautifully, authentically you?
If you're interested in speaking, exhibiting, or getting involved in the largest personal development expos in the world, contact us today at www.thebestyouexpo.com or send us an email to info@thebestyou.co.
Now I get it, right? Fear comes to visit, yes? Fear comes over for tea, sits next to you and goes, really? You think you're good enough? Ha ha ha. Or fear says, but if I am myself, wholly and completely in this world, what if my friends don't like me anymore? What if my partner stops loving me? What if you welcomed those fears and thanked them, and in doing so allowed them to dissipate gently with ease? What if you decided to dispel any lingering doubts about your self-worth? What if you decided to dissolve any belief systems and stories that have kept you small in the past, that have stopped you from living the life that you deserve in the past? What if your purpose was to approach each and every moment from a place of unconditional love? What if your purpose was to approach each and every moment from a place of receiving unconditional love? So what is the secret to living on purpose? Aristotle says, knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. And I would like to add to that, cultivating a daily practice that allows you to know yourself better is living on purpose, honoring your intuition, which also means trusting and understanding what a yes feels like in your body and what no feels like, and respecting that guidance. Practicing joy, inviting play and fun into your life, pursuing that which lifts you up inside. And whenever you feel yourself getting caught up in your head in that loop, and you start to hear the, I should have done this, or I could have done that, I really ought to be this way, or I'm supposed to, do whatever it is that you love to do that will help you to ground that energy into the earth, bring it back to the heart, and celebrate your incredible gift to experience a range and a depth of feeling in your life. Remember who you were before the world told you who you should be. And as the amazing singer Mama Cass once said, make your own kind of music, sing your own special song. And to close, it reminds me of another story that I'd like to share with you that I heard recently about an old woman who used to live along the banks of a beautiful lake. And she'd been to many places and she'd seen many things. And one morning, as she was walking along the banks of the beautiful lake, she overheard a gentle song being sung in the distance. And she thought to herself, this song must be coming from the little island in the center of the lake. And so she got in her boat, she rowed over to the island to investigate. And sure enough, there in the middle of the island, she found a young girl sitting cross-legged with her eyes closed, singing her song. Now the old woman recognized this song from her youth. So she tapped the young woman on the shoulder and she said, excuse me, my dear, did you know that this song that you're singing has magical powers and everyone who sings it will receive a miracle? But I'm terribly sorry, my dear, I'm afraid you've made a mistake. You see, you're singing it wrong. The words go like this. And so the old woman corrected the young girl's pronunciation. The young girl smiled and thanked her. The old woman went about her day. The next day, as the old woman was walking along the banks of the beautiful lake, once again, she overheard the gentle song being sung in the distance. Once again, she overheard the song being sung incorrectly. So she got into her boat and she rowed over to the island. And sure enough, there was the young girl sitting cross-legged with her eyes closed, singing her song. The old woman tapped the young girl on the shoulder and said, I'm terribly sorry, my dear, but I'm afraid you're still singing it wrong. And you won't receive the miracle unless you sing it like this. The young girl smiled and thanked her, and the old woman went about her day. On the third day, as the old woman walked along the banks of the beautiful lake, once again, she overheard the gentle song being sung in the distance, and once again, she overheard it being sung incorrectly. And she thought to herself, now I'm going to have to get in my boat and go over there and give that young girl a piece of my mind because she's still singing it wrong. And as she turned to get into her boat, she saw the young woman singing her song, walking on the water towards the shore. I'm Ann Chard. Remember to know yourself and love yourself. Thank you so much for listening. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
For more information, go to www.thebestyou.co.